Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 443 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Let's start with a substantial DC film update. Not the Snyder Cut, but a DC film. And this is in regards to Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. According to Heroic Hollywood, Black Adam will feature Dr. Fate and ISIS. So this is an exclusive from them. Of course, their source seemingly to be Humberto Gonzalez, who put this picture out of ISIS in the movie. ISIS and Dr. Fate have been utilized in live action before. Most recently, ISIS appears as Zari Tomaz on Legends of Tomorrow. Dr. Fate made an appearance during the 9th season of Smallville. Heroic Hollywood owner Gilberto Gonzalez previously hinted at ISIS appearing in the film of Instagram. So ISIS is the wife of Black Adam. With the amulet of ISIS, she has a power over the forces of nature. Kent Nelson is Dr. Fate, a powerful sorcerer and agent for the Lords of Order who fights evil alongside his wife Inza. His amulet, cloak, and helmet are creations of the ancient Nabu, who acts as his mentor and spiritual guide. He is a founding member of the Justice Society of America. And so being hinted here that it's more than just a Black Adam movie. Another article from Screen Rant says Black Adam movie will introduce the Justice Society to the DCEU. Now we had a hint from Heroic Hollywood about, Dr. Fate going to be in that movie, but appears there might be a little bit more to it. And I'm just going to scroll down here about this. Screen Rant actually asked, do you think we'll see Black Adam fight Shazam in that film? Or is that later on down the line? Dwayne Johnson says, without giving too much away, it's not in the plans right now. I think the approach that we're talking, I feel really good about, and all of the filmmakers do too as well. It's an origin story, and that's where we start, and we root it, and then we build it out from there. Now, not to say Shazam isn't on my radar. Of course, Shazam is, but so is all of DC. JSA was my jam growing up, said Screen Rant, and Dwayne Johnson replied, JSA, we will introduce you to the world of JSA. Now it's kind of unclear what he means by that. Will the Justice Society of America appear in this movie, or just because we know Hawkman's going to be in it. Now we know it seems like Dr. Fate's going to be in it. It's quite possible. Even Stargirl's going to be in it. So it's a very interesting thing indeed for this Black Adam movie. It's starting to turn out to be a much bigger movie than we actually initially anticipated. And for people who are excited about that, it's kind of cool to see a Justice Society of America actually play a role in this gigantic, pretty much seemingly now going to be a very epic Black Adam movie. Not to say that Black Adam couldn't be an epic movie by itself, but it seems like they're throwing all these different characters in here, and let's see if it actually kind of works out. Of course, there is some conversation about Superman as well. Black Adam producer on the possibility of Henry Cavill Superman appearing in a new DC Comics movie. And I'm just going to scroll down here to what Hiram Garcia talked about here. I think the DC universe is a wonderful universe. We're open to everything. We have big aspirations for it. We're friends with Henry. Dwayne and Henry are friends. It's a huge comic book brand as well, and I always just love the idea. Who knows? But man, Black Adam for Superman is really cool. That'd be really powerful. Now, this is just a comment. It doesn't really mean too much of anything, but it does look like they do have plans and kind of interest in having Superman maybe go up against Black Adam one day. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson have always talked about that he can go head toe to toe with Henry Cavill's Superman. He specifically says Superman a lot, and even Shazam says things about Superman as well. So it does seem like that's a likely potential future for the Man of Steel to return by the Garcias, because they are repped by them, and have them appear in the same movie. So I don't think he's going to be in Black Adam per se, but he'll probably be maybe in a Black Adam sequel, or Black Adam will appear in a Superman movie, or even the Shazam movie. So it's all up in the air, but you can probably kind of guess just looking at this, like the next time you'll probably see Henry Cavill's Superman is maybe in a Garcia production where or $7 production where you see him interact with either Zachary Levi or Dwayne Johnson. Maybe, but in terms of talking about Superman, this article had come out, and it's called J.J. Abrams making DC's next Superman movie. He says not. What he actually said in the article, if you actually do read it, he said, we haven't had those discussions yet. And Daniel RPK, a scooper, has suggested this. Of course he's going to say that. Plus, the outlet was quick to note that Abrams' answer didn't sound wholly convincing. They also noted the numerous Superman action figures that decorated his office. Is almost saying like, what who's Superman? I have no idea who Superman is. And you see like Superman stuff in the background, but or not have any talk yet. He couldn't, and it's possible that he hasn't had discussions yet. There's a word there, yet, meaning that it's possible it's on the table, but he hasn't really talked about it yet. Or he's just saying that and playing coy about that, as he says he didn't sound wholly convincing, which I believe he's not. I mean, this is the guy, guys. This is the dude that was straight up lying to the public that Benedict Cumberbatch was not playing Khan in Star Trek. He straight up lied in public and said that. So you can't really trust J.J. Abrams, right? And so I actually do believe they are talking and discussing Superman with him, as he is a big Superman fan. And just like how they're seeing Superman action figures around his office, that's one of the biggest reasons I believe that's why he's over at Warner Brothers now. And we're not going to see a lot of that possibly until after the Rise of Skywalker and everything's said and done with that Star Wars universe, that he can dive head right into Warner Brothers, and possibly even by maybe next San Diego Con, or maybe this Brazil comic CCXP, or maybe not CCXP, but maybe San Diego Comic Con next year will have something about possibly J.J. Abrams' Superman movie. Not to say that I'm not excited for a return of the Zack Snyder Cut trilogy, Justice League 1, 2, and 3. And you're thinking, bro, you're really dreaming there, bro. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to chase the dream. I'm going to feel like if Justice League 1 could come out, it does have a very big possibility that 2 and 3 can come out afterwards if the response for 1 is very, very good, right? So there, I can hope and dream. Come on. But to me, that said, like I can still enjoy a new Superman movie, but as long as Zack Snyder can finish the films that he wanted to make, and we get to see the original art, because it's a multiverse. We can have different takes. It's fine. And so I'm ready for all of that. And since we're going to talk about Snyder Cut, I have this. This is my new picture of the day. Yes, this is the one from Fandom. They actually made this cool-looking Blu-ray box art, and it may have been a little bit trolling, but they did such a good job on this art. I'm just gonna keep it. So this is my picture for today. Now, one of the biggest things that has happened this morning was I'm getting a lot of people notifying me and saying that this has happened, and a lot of people had checked up on it, and it seemed true. Apparently Warner Brothers, possibly in DC Comics, WB Pictures, actually just started following Zack Snyder again. Gal Gadot also following Zack Snyder again, as some of these notifications were popping up. Now, I don't really know how Twitter works in terms of notifications, and I would just want to give that opportunity to someone else to explain to me. But apparently, for some people saying that when that Zack Snyder that Warner Brother Pictures and W Pictures unfollowed Zack Snyder during Justice League, and so he wasn't by that. Now I don't have proof of that. I didn't check to see if they did that, unfollow him during that time. So it's not like I can say I know for a fact they unfollowed him on Twitter, and they're following him on Twitter. I don't know. Some people are saying that. I myself, I don't know. I have not seen that, and I'm just going to relay that idea to somebody else. But they did say that when you follow it, the notification comes up, and you'll see that it's a new notification, a new chance that Zack Snyder is being followed by Warner Brothers Pictures, W Pictures, which could spell a good thing. Now, if that's true, it could definitely spell a good thing, meaning that he's possibly back at Warner Brothers, or Warner Brother Pictures is going to want to work with him again, or he wants to work with them again. That's all good and awesome and true, and maybe true. And if that's the case, that's awesome. That just means more opportunities for Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder possibly saying, hey, I think I like where this is going, and maybe this is the olive branch that we were talking about, and I can come in and let's do business with that. And that's if I'm understanding this notification correctly. I have no idea, right? But a lot of people are reporting on, are saying about it, are talking about that. So I just thought I'd mention that. So I think this is great news if this was the case, right? That they're following him once again, if they have ever unfollowed him at all. So that part I don't know, but I think this is great news. And it's seeming like a good indication that they're ready to support him, and possibly maybe even cut a deal or something. Who knows, right? All right, now I want to talk about this gentleman named Stuart Alexander. It has been revealed that he was the dean in that office where he was talking to Dr. Eleanor Stone with that picture of Victor Stone outside waiting for his mom, right? So he was cut out of the movie. Now, he tweeted this out. I've ended up on the cutting room floor once before, so when I was tagged in released the Snyder Cut tweet recently, my reactions was flattered but ambivalent. But it seems it's a real thing. So yeah, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And he shared an editorial from Rotten Tomatoes, the Snyder Cut, everything you need to know about the alternative Justice League. And when you look at this article, it does go into great detail in terms of the Snyder Cut, everything you need to know about the alternative Justice League and how it could be released. It's a great breakdown on the Rotten Tomatoes site. So I encourage you to check that out and look about it. They even mention the Donner Cut just a little bit. So I thought that was kind of fascinating, kind of cool to see this certain Snyder Cut article on a Rotten Tomatoes site. I know guys don't care about the Rotten Tomatoes, but I think any type of article or traction is very important to show analytics, to show Warner Brothers that there is a following for this, and then show some more support of that. Speaking of support, I'm sure you kind of maybe recognize her. Brooke Entz is actually one of the Amazonians inside the movie. I believe she's the one that stopped the wall from coming down, right? I believe so. And so she actually rolls up another Amazonian following Gal Gadot, rolls up and says Throwback Thursday Justice League, hashtag it makes sense, Amazon women Justice League, and of course there is the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. She has about over 1 million followers, so this is fantastic. This is just more of the cast and crew coming out to support the Snyder Cut movement, and it just gets stronger and stronger, and so that's great, and that's awesome to see a lot more of that. So we'll probably see a lot more as the days go on, more support, more verifies, more blogs, things like that to talk about the Snyder Cut, and I think that's an awesome, totally awesome thing. Now I want to talk to you about I think you remember Sam Bejamin. I talked to him about him yesterday, how we were thinking, just wondering if maybe he's Green Lantern. He kind of liked a few Green Lantern pictures. He does look like a Green Lantern, as indicated by Liz Wonder, who put this on Vero. She put this out, and he kind of transforms to that Green Lantern. I think this is Injustice. Made this because he is perfect. If, as Zack Snyder puts, a green heart comment, I might pass out. Green heart, is he Green Lantern? Hashtag release Snyder Cut. Sam Bejamin. Now, I don't know if he actually responded to this, but he did like it. You know, he did like this post, and Clay Enos also liked it as well as a bunch of other people. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Tinfoil? Maybe. Do we have a Green Lantern and Sam Bejamin? Even more so, Sam Bejamin on his own Instagram, and I don't remember, this is from April 23rd here, when he put this on, I Feel the Need, had that thing with the, it's like an aviator type of flight jacket, I guess. Someone asked, Hal Jordan? And he gave a green heart. A green heart. So... even more fuel to the fire that this guy could have been Green Lantern, right? Krypton Caged put this up, and Sam Bejamin put this in his Insta story. Krypton Cage, you are awesome. Almost feeling like he's either championing the fact that he could be Green Lantern, or he is Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut. And if that's the case, what movie is this? That's amazing. Green Lantern was supposed to be in this movie. Would he be Hal Jordan Green Lantern? Kyle Rayner Green Lantern? I'm not exactly sure at this time, but I want to introduce you to this man named Alexander Collins at Lex Collins 8. New someone just came on Twitter and just kind of being talked about today. And it started with this tweet, right? Some spoilers for people who still think the Snyder Cut is a work print. We had action figure prototypes for Darkseid, Green Lantern, Scary Steppenwolf, and Flashpoint Thomas Wayne, most of which were based off actor renderings. Now, he commented on Green Lantern sort of resembles Kyle Rayner, but could be Hal Jordan. Steppenwolf is the original design before the one in the theatrical cut. Thomas Wayne is Jeffrey Dean Morgan in a stylized Flashpoint Batman costume. He even saw some footage, although he's not allowed to comment. Sorry. And there's a lot in these tweets that he's going after, and I thought that was just simply amazing. And one of them also says we had templates for Justice League Part 1 and Part 2. Some of the designs carried over, but not many, because the theatrical version is missing so many characters. And I'm like blown away at this. I mean, just the basic fact that he talked about him seeing there's a Darkseid prototype action figure. There's a Green Lantern. Steppenwolf's supposed to be scary, which we kind of know. But the Flashpoint Thomas Wayne, what movie is this? Or was it, or were they working with the Flashpoint, movie already in mind as well? So they're getting all these figures and prototypes, and then you're like, well, who the heck is this guy? He doesn't have much. Well, he had less followers when I first started, but he just came on November 2019. He says he's here for Zack Snyder. He loves his movies. It's time for Warner Bros. Release Snyder Cut, and he claims he works for Hot Toys and absolutely love his job. And then his link here is Sideshow Manufacturers, which is like a hot toy a sideshow, which has hot toy collectible figures and stuff like that. So Doesn't mean he's legitimate, he's legit or anything like that. He just kind of popped up today and started supporting the Snyder Cut. So I mean, anybody could really just do that, right? You would think, and start spewing some stuff. But I just thought that was interesting for you to take note that the possibilities of the Snyder Cut being a lot more than what people are saying. Like it's just going to be the theatrical, but longer. There's a possibility that it may not. I'm not saying this guy is true, but the possibility, like what's Sam Bejamin, with all those theories that maybe he's actually really is some type of Green Lantern. We may even have more, of course, Darkseid's in there. Steppenwolf, is he going to be the scary design now? We've been hearing that a lot of that stuff, a lot of the things, the shots that Zack Snyder had put out, is in fact the current Steppenwolf. But with additional funding from Warner Brothers, like if they could come through an agreement or deal, maybe he can get some money to change it, to change things to a more updated if it's not finished. I mean, if it's done, then it's done. But if it's not done, then with that money, maybe this is his opportunity to change the look to what it was originally supposed to be. Or if he's already, for the most part complete, maybe he has money to change it up. But anyway, I mean, just having them say okay to what you want to do, it brings him the opportunity to kind of just create his Snyder Cut, right? His own Snyder Cut. There is no one telling him, and hopefully that's how the negotiation is going to go. That no one, and I think he's kind of done with people telling him what to do at this point. So if they're going to allow him to do what he wants to do, maybe he's going to change it up to a more what he intended for his arc. You know what I mean? So maybe we could have that scary Steppenwolf. Maybe we could have those moments back in the movie, and what he really truly wanted for JL 1, 2, and 3. I'm just saying. I'm just being overly optimistic once again about that. And I know people are like, well, I don't really, you keeps talking about HBO Max. Come on, Chris. Like, this deserves to be a theatrical. And I agree. I 100% agree. This deserves to be a theatrical film. And I would be like one of the first people to actually buy a ticket on the biggest IMAX screen possible in Hawaii, and I can't wait to watch it over and over again in the theaters. I would definitely want that. I really, 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 really need that theatrical experience do-over to kind of erase that memory of going into watching Justice League, or actually paying a ticket and feeling guilty about it afterwards. But I would love to watch it in theaters. And so but having it come out in theaters, if it's a limited release, no big deal. It could probably plop in anywhere. But what if we're being really optimistic, right? And like, oh my God, they're gonna put it in theaters. What if they actually shell out and actually put it in an actual theater, like a wide theatrical release? Like, where would it go, right? And so I started looking on Box Office Mojo, because there's a calendar where it shows all the different movies. And I remember that there was a slot in 2020 for a DC film, and then now I've been reminded that was Cyborg from earlier. So I went back to check on it, and it's still there. Untitled DC film. This is from Box Office Mojo. April 3rd. Untitled DC film, April 2020. So I like how some people says, well, this is like there's a movie called Jesus coming out on April 7th. Like, this is the Easter month, and he will rise again. Superman will rise on Easter. It's very biblical sense in that wording. Like, if that were to come out in April, that means that, and if it were to come out in April, that means it would have to be done to get it out that time. But if it's not done and they need more time, I kind of suggested, hey, Patty Jenkins saying Wonder Woman 1984 is done. Push up June to the April spot, and Justice League to the June spot. They could do something like that. I'm just guessing at this point, and who knows? It might even come theatrical all, and it just go HBO Max. But I would really love to see some type of theatrical release. I know there's even a slot. There's W Event Films. On other slots, and there's one in November. In fact, this one right here, November 20th. And I thought, would that be something too on the third year anniversary of Justice League that the Snyder Cut actually does come out. But movies change, slots change, so it could literally end up anywhere or only HBO Max. But the one thing for sure, and I do believe, is that the Snyder Cut is definitely coming out. I mean, I even share Rob Liefeld's kind of tweet out here that he tweeted out on the 17th. It's absolutely going to happen. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I agree with you, Rob. It's absolutely going to happen. Release the Snyder Cut, either in theaters or however you want, preferably in theaters. But I can't wait to see this movie and talk about it more and more. I mean, at this point, guys, we can literally just, I feel like we can just really talk about what's going to happen in the movie rather than if the movie's coming out. So get excited, guys. Release the Snyder Cut. All right, guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.